Welcome to Ag Matters, covering positive agriculture stories from across Alaska on Big Cabbage Radio.
Mike Malevsky, Big Cabbage Radio in Palmer, Alaska. It's my great pleasure to be having a different role here as an interviewer of an interviewee for Ag Matters, and I'm welcoming Tandy Hogate. Welcome, Tandy.
Thanks for having me, Mike. I'm excited to be here. It's fun being on the other side of the mic.
Isn't that true? Yes. So what we're going to focus on, since we've had you, obviously as an interviewer for many episodes of Ag Matters, but you've also been involved with your own farm and more importantly, for this moment, an event that's coming up. Would you describe that event, when it is, where it is, and then we'll talk about the detail.
Okay, all right. So we are putting on the Alaska Homestead Expo. It's our second annual one. It's going to be taking place at the Menard Center this year, which is really fun and a little intimidating. And it's on April 4th through 6th.
Okay, so we got the location and we got the date. And just to insert right here that I'm very familiar with the Menard Center. I have been one of those involved in putting on another event, which is the Emergency Expo in the fall each year. And you're right, it's a very large, very wonderful venue, but it can be intimidating in the sense that yes, you've got a lot of space to fill. How are you going to fill the space for your event?
So the funny thing is, when we first rented the Menard, that was what I thought. I thought, how are we ever going to fill up this entire space? But we kind of our first expo that we did. I anticipate our highest reaching goal was between 9 and 1,200 people. Like 1,200 was my pie in the sky. If we end up with this many people, it's going to be amazing. We ended up with 1,700 people. So it was quite obvious that our original venue, which was the Big Lake Lions Club, which is an amazing venue, it just isn't split up into classrooms and places so that we can offer more in terms of classes.
Right.
So when I started working with the Menard, and Ben there at the Menard is incredible, and he's really been super helpful because he has kind of helped me think outside the box. We split the turf into 3 classrooms. We have the ice rink. And then we have the classroom area. And then we were talking more. And then I said, well, we kind of could use your kitchen. So then we added the kitchen to it. And then the more I started doing this and the more class ideas we had and the more people we had reach out that wanted to be involved, I realized I was quickly running out of space. So now we've added another classroom as long as our audio guy says it's a go. And so far he's approved it, but he's kind of making sure. Then we've added some space in the bleachers. And then we actually rented every single tent from the Special Events Alaska that they have for available. And so we actually have outside tents with heaters. So not only did we start with the space that I wondered if we were ever going to fill up. Now we've expanded to outside, and we even have an outside uncovered area where we're doing some of our classes that kind of need to be outside. So
let's step back a moment. Many listeners are familiar with the Menard Center. Now, when you come in, there's really 2 large areas. There's the ice rink itself, and Arctic Winter Games events were held there. It's a big place, bleachers and all. And then to the left is another large hall. And then, of course, in various places along the way, there are classrooms. Are you telling me that you're renting the entire Menard Center?
we rented the whole facility and all their yards outside. We rented everything. And we'll
Whoa!
fill them. I know.
I'm impressed. I'm impressed.
Well,
And that also means one of the things about that facility that I've always liked is they've got a lot of parking, a lot of good parking.
yes.
Okay. So we've established that you have gone big, and you've got the Menard Center, and you've sort of in general terms talked about things. But let's look at it from the standpoint of someone who goes over there. Do they have to pay to enter and do any of this? How's that all work? How do they choose what they would be participating in?
Sure. That's a great question. So we're just charging a single fee for the whole weekend, and people can come and go as they please. So right now we have our early bird tickets on sale, and that actually we just extended because we have a radio ad coming out. So we just extended our early bird sale to, I believe it's the 26th. It's the last Sunday in January.
Okay.
So the early bird tickets are $85 for adults, and then I also I've left so there's so much to talk about. It's hard not to just get excited and scatter. So thank you for keeping me in line. But if you have kids, we've got a program for you as well. So kids can certainly go to the classes with their parents if they want to, and each ticket buys a seat. So if you have, say, two kids that are on the smaller side, like a 3 and a 5-year-old, and they can share a seat, then you could actually buy one adult ticket and let them share the seat. That's perfectly fine.
Okay.
We just have as many seats as we have tickets. So, but if you want, we have what we're calling the Kids Sitter program. And that is where the kids go up in I'm telling you, we use the entire building. Up in the
Track
track.
above. Yeah.
Yep, the track upstairs is where the kids are going to be. And so it's wide open. It's very visible by everyone. They're not, in a closed room or anything. And the kids ages 4 to 11 are going to be up there, and they're going to be learning all kinds of homestead skills. I mean, like they'll make seed bombs. They'll get a bag of things they'll take home. They'll make seed bombs. We'll probably make like seed markers, but we're also going to do some more organized things, like we have Kids Setter Olympics that they're going to participate in and things like that. So we have a program for the kids on Friday and Saturday. So while the parents are attending classes, the kids have classes they can do as well. Now we also have a youth program, and I'm gonna put this plug out there because I'm searching for someone, and I if you say it enough, you'll find the right person, right?
Right.
So in our youth program, we have several things that we're putting together for the youth. It's ages 12 to 18, and we're wanting to do maybe some car care and things like that, just basic skills. I'm actually looking into some CPR, and maybe you would be a good connection for that. Looking into doing CPR, so some of them can actually take a CPR class and get certified.
Right.
But here's the thing I'm looking for. I am looking for a woodworker. This was actually Anna White's idea. Anna White from Fairbanks, who does woodworking, and she's kind of well known. She came up with the idea of having the kids build a chicken tractor.
Oh, right. Right. I've done that. That's a wonderful thing.
Well, and then what we'd do is we'd actually give it away as a door prize on Sunday.
Oh, wonderful.
So the kids
Yes.
build it, and we give it away. Isn't that fun?
I like it.
So I need a woodworking instructor. So just still putting the word out there to find someone, and there's some variables to it. So definitely reach out to me. Common Ground Alaska is the best way to find me. But
Okay, so let's pause for a moment. Let's take a breath. I know there's excitement around this because it's already. I mean, you've begun to throw out some of the ideas and things that are attractions. I guess what I'm looking at. Okay, let's back up just one step and say I'm an excited family. I come up, I park the car nicely, and I walk through the door. What am I going to see? How do I choose which direction I go, or what do I do, or even what time I get there?
Well, we will definitely be posting. It's not ready yet. Probably mid-March we'll be posting the schedule, and so people can actually download that schedule and print it ahead of time. And what happened last year, we did the same thing last year, was we let everybody have the schedule in advance, so you can kind of divide and conquer, because like I said, we're filling up the whole Menard. So we have as many as 10 or 11 classes going on at once.
Okay.
So when you have that many things going on at one time, you really do have to pick and choose what you're gonna do, and yeah. So
okay. Now let's make a
ahead
distinction between two things or three things. I can think of three things. One are classes that you would want to sign up for because they could be oversubscribed, and you want to. I'm assuming you're going to have a limit of the number of people can be in some of the classes.
Yes, that's going to have to just fake itself out. And my hope is my kind of utopian vision is that someone will have, plan A and plan B. So they want to attend class A.
Right.
But if by the time they get there, class A is full, well, that's okay because we have class B. We're not going to oversell the building. So
Right.
I'm not going to make it so that people are just standing around because there's no room anywhere to go to classes.
Right. And I'm guessing you're not going to oversell any event because that can degrade the event itself too, or the
Oh,
class. Right.
and it just makes it no fun.
Yeah.
We're here to build community, not to create something crazy. But another piece to this, Mike, and I don't know if this is the right time to add this in, but people can also buy the recordings. So we're recording not every single class, but most of the classes we're recording. And so people can actually buy the recordings when they get their ticket. The recordings are going to be $99, and that's every single recording that we make, and it's theirs forever. However, when you buy a ticket, you can actually upsell and get your recording for $45.
Okay.
So,
Now, when you say recording, we're talking audio or audio and video?
audio and video,
Oh, okay. Yes.
right?
That's wonderful. Okay, so back to my original breaking down the events themselves. You've got classes. Okay, I can understand that. And then you also have, I'm guessing, vendors there. Will you be having vendor booths scattered about? People looking at different things that people are providing?
Yes, the vendors will be in the ice rink.
Got it.
So the whole ice rink area will be full of vendors, and we do have some other little vendor areas scattered around, and we are looking for vendors. So if someone wants to reach out to me, that would be great. Yeah, because we'd like to fill the vendor hall with just as many local folks as we can who are serving the homestead community.
Okay.
So yeah.
Now, there's a third category. I'm going to call it a category I'll lump a bunch of things into, but there might be food, there might be something else. We'll talk about what might be there.
Sure. So we're going to have between 4 and 5 food trucks. One of the things we ran into last year was we only had 2 food trucks. And normally at an event where you even had 2,000 people, 2 food trucks is enough because people come and go and not everyone's eating. The difference with our event is they're kind of a captive audience. They're there all day. They've committed to the weekend.
Right.
So we're trying to make sure, no, we're not trying, we will make sure that we have plenty of food trucks so that the lines aren't hugely long. I'm focusing on, I want to have as much healthy food as we can, but it also needs to be quick. So I've asked a couple of the food trucks to come up with some grab and go ideas. So as folks are kind of between classes, they can go grab, a sandwich or maybe some nachos or something, and they can just grab it quickly and go to their class. So, and another thing that we've actually done with the schedule, I don't want to, I'm rabbit trailing, I know, but last time we had 5 minutes between classes. This time we put 30 minutes between classes. So you have time to visit the vendor hall or grab some food or just take change baby's diaper, whatever you need to do in between.
Okay.
So it just makes it
Well,
a
let's talk a
more
little, yeah,
enjoyable
and
experience.
let's talk a little bit about the timing here. You said the weekend. When does it start? When do the doors open to begin? And when do you close the doors and it's all over?
So that's a little bit to be determined.
Okay.
So we'll probably start at 9 o'clock on Friday. We're still tweaking the schedule a little bit, and we'll probably finish up at 5:30. So that's Friday, April 4th.
Okay.
And then Saturday, and how about I just go kind of through the days? Because I also
Please
want to
do.
talk
Please
about
do.
some of our speakers that we have
Oh, yeah.
coming. 'Cause
Wonderful. Go for it.
we've got some incredible speakers. So on Friday, we'll open the doors in the morning, and everyone will need to bring their tickets because the tickets are scannable, and we have little scanning gun things, and everybody will get a bracelet, and then you're just in for the weekend. So on Friday, it's really the schedule is just classes and the vendor hall, and then there's food. Friday's pretty straightforward, except I run a program called Lady Homesteaders of Alaska, and we meet once a month in person and do an in-person class. And then we actually meet weekly and do like we meet online and do a little online class. We have tons of stuff that we do, but our Lady Homesteaders actually get a VIP lunch with some of our speakers. So they're going to get to have lunch with Kelly Foreman from Kodiak Goat Dairy. They get to have lunch with Dr. Sina McCullough, and she's actually Joel Salatin's co-host for his podcast.
Okay.
Holistic Hilda Labrada Gore is her name, and she runs the Weston A. Price Wise Traditions podcast. She'll be here, and then Beth Doherty, Dawn and Beth Doherty are coming, and Beth Doherty, and so we get to have this VIP lunch on Friday. It's all catered, so that's for the Lady Homesteaders. But otherwise, Friday is pretty straightforward. It's just the class time. Saturday, It's basically the same, except we break in the middle of the day because a major portion of this that is super important to me is building community and people kind of connecting. So you know how you might see someone in a goat class and they might ask a question. They might say, "Oh, I raised this kind of goat," and ask questions, but you didn't really get to connect. So I wanted to make sure that there's the whole show stops for the ice cream social.
Okay.
And Kelly Foreman of Kodiak Goat Dairy is going to deliver a keynote about stories that what is it? The realities of farming in Alaska, stories that will make you think. She's such a great storyteller. It's going to be so fun. And then we have after she's done, we have a whole hour just to eat ice cream and socialize and meet up with that lady from the goat class that has the same kind of goats as you and just kind of browse the vendor hall, whatever you want to do. And that's Saturday. Sunday is where it gets really, really fun. So we don't have a kids program on Sunday because Sunday is family day. And again, this is all ticket holders get to participate. So on Sunday in the morning, we have a bluegrass band who leads worship. And then Joel Salatin is actually coming in on Sunday and he is leading our church service. So we're doing the church service. And then afterwards, after the church service, Joel is going to do his own talk. And then when he's done, then we're all getting together in the ice rink and we're going to do square dancing lessons. Isn't that fun?
I like it. I like it.
That's how we'll finish off the day.
All right. Well, you've obviously put a lot of thought into this, and I'm going to ask if there are multitudes contained in the word you. Who else is working with you to make this happen?
Well, I kind of need to hire a team.
I guess that.
Mike, I'm working on it, I promise. This is so close to my heart that it's been hard to let any of it go. So right now, my sweet family is taking the overflow, but we're working on building a team. I actually have a gal who's kind of working on the Kids Stutter program. Building kids classes just isn't my passion, and they're going to have a whole lot more fun with her doing it. So we're slowly building a team, and yeah, but it's going to be fun.
Okay. Okay. So when all is said and done, Sunday closes and you wake up on Monday morning, what would you like to say may have made that a weekend a success? What are you looking to achieve?
Well, I'm probably supposed to say that people would have learned a lot. True, that would be part of it.
Sure,
That people
sure.
would have learned a lot and been inspired to live a more self-sustainable life up here. And I've always been a big proponent of food security. I think we kind of like to eat, and we're not in a good spot up here, so we need to work on that. And so I think individuals feeling a little more self-sufficient is a good thing. But in the end, the part that I love the most and the part that I love to hear when I talk to people who went last year is the friendships that are formed and the community that's built from this. It is so cool meeting people what is that? I think it's C.S. Lewis who said, when someone says something and you're like, what? I thought I was the only one. I just love that whole idea of just people who finding other people who live a similar lifestyle or who are a step ahead of them, who are willing to mentor them and help them, raise goats or make cheese or make soap we're doing so many cool things at this expo that yeah, I think people will be really inspired, but I think it's the community building that's the best part.
Okay. Tandy, a lot of work, but obviously brings a lot of joy. You have passion, and I look forward to attending the event and just walking through and being surprised because I think as best we do here, attempting to get the picture out to people of what can be, you're not going to know until you actually go there, which leaves us to the last question. As time goes on, where is the best place for people to get continuing information about what's going to be happening?
So we have a Facebook page. It's just Alaska Homestead Expo. There's an event on Facebook as well. So that's where I'm going to be keeping the majority of people up to date. We also, if you just want tickets, then you would actually go to our website, which is alaskahomesteadacademy.com. And there's a link for the tickets there. But if you just want to know about it, if you want to kind of keep up on what's happening, I'd say follow Facebook. Once you've bought your tickets, then we have all kinds of things that we're sending people who buy tickets as well that are exclusive Yeah, I would say get your tickets before the early bird sale ends. Then you're going to really be in the loop on all the inside stuff that's going on.
I appreciate that. Okay. Tandy, stay well. Take a few breaths between now and then because I can see you still thinking of additional things. And yes, having a team to help you is a good idea.
All right. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate the opportunity to be on here. We'll see you at the expo.
Yep. Bye-bye.
You've been listening to Ag Matters, covering positive agriculture stories from across Alaska. Ag Matters is a production of Radio Free Palmer, recorded at our studios in Palmer, Alaska. For more information about this program, email manager@radiofreepalmer.org.